Let's see if the mic's actually working this time. I spoke for 15 minutes at the beginning. My stream last night, nobody heard me because OBS decided to change. So hold on one second. There we go. Now my PNG is on the right one. Yeah, no, yeah. Scuff happens. That means I'm a VTuber. Hi, Maniacal Kitty. Hi, Aurora. How are you guys? So, I have not done one of these midday streams. Is reversed? What do you mean by reversed? I'm good. I'm actually good. I haven't done one of these midday streams in a long time, and I had to run last minute and go get an energy drink and some like candy because I was crashing out. Crashing out already. Yeah, normally I paint at night on Fridays, but today I got some plans tonight, so I decided to do one of these midday streams again, which I haven't done in a long time. Um, so hey, I'm seeing people I normally don't see usually. So I'm happy you guys are here. Maybe I need to do these more often. So let's go Dark Studio. Awesome. Okay. So that transition was good. Yeah. So what I was gonna plan on painting today. Yeah, yeah, Raina and Pups will yell at me if I don't paint. And so I gotta make sure to paint. She and Pups is working from home today, so she can come yell at me if I'm not painting. But Raina's at work, so she can't yell at me. So I will say that. But yeah, I had to do a last minute run to the gas station to get get my energy drink on and get a loving breakfast. Um, because peanut butter M&M or peanut M&Ms are a great breakfast. Oh, you're working on commissions? Oh, that's great. I love that you're keeping busy. Every time I see someone that's like, "Hey, I need an artist or an editor or something like that," I try to link you to the posting. Oh, thank you for the follow, Swallowtail. It's really awesome. Okay, so I'm very torn on what I need to paint today. I have like three choices of things. I have these freaking fairy commissions that I want to get done, which they're most of the way done. I got like, let's see. This is for a miniature game called Moonstone, which is like a little fairy skirmish game. I love the art. The art's like very Brian Froud. Um, it's the little group is these two are done. This one I got a little bit more details because I'm not happy with it. And the one I'm actually excited about painting, I haven't even started yet, other than the Zenithal priming, and that's the Wasp Rider because that's just so cool. Look at that. It just looks so neat. So I can work on that, but I'm kind of over fairies right now because I've been doing this for so long. Um, what I've actually been doing kind of in my spare time is I've been playing around with the little owl mini that I have. I took his head off, which this was sent to me by Board Game Boss. This was the prototype for the owl miniature, which now we've decided is going to be a brush holder for hobby tables. He sent me the STL file to look at, and so basically the difference between this and the other one is his arms are going to be up, so he can hold your brushes like ski poles. And but I also told him, I was like, oh, when we print that one, you need to you need to have the head separately because this one was like printed in all one like solid chunk, and so I had to I had to take his head off, and which was really funny because I sent someone the picture of me decapitating him. They're like, "What'd you do to him?" And I was like, it's necessary evil. I have to take his head off so I can paint his shirt. Um, because look, his tentacles are like right in the way. So, but you know, a little bit of green stuff, a little bit of love. His head's fun, and he can talk right now because he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Um, but I have that to work on. But on a interesting note, we just hit over hundreds of followers here on Twitch. So that means I'm going to be doing the Jason Voorhees bust painting giveaway. So I've had this since I started. So this is, I'm going to paint on stream. This is from Blackheart Bus, which I have their paper somewhere. Blackheart is an amazing bus company. They do like these classic movie bus, which I have a Cthulhu and a Lovecraft, if you imagine that. But when my buddy sent me the Cthulhu and the Lovecraft, he sent me this Jason Voorhees, and there's their logo. Not I'm not sponsored by them whatsoever. I'm just a fan of them. It's blackheartmodels.com. Their busts are like really incredible. As you can see, they're small, they're desk size, what have you. So I've got this Jason Voorhees one, and once this is done painting, or once I'm done painting this on stream, this is going to be in a giveaway for any of my followers. I'm going to put all the followers' names and draw a name, and whoever is the lucky follower is going to get this bust hand painted by me on stream. So hopefully you're a Friday the 13th fan when you win it. I actually had to look up because I don't watch a lot of horror movies. If I do, I watch sci-fi horror movies. So I'm not a real big slasher film fan. Pups is. So I actually had to look up which Jason was the one where he lost like half his mask as painting reference. So that's going to be kind of neat. That's going to be fun. And it already looks like really cool with the zenithal and dry brushing. So you and Pups would get along. She watches horror like crazy. I will watch horror, but only specific types. Like I said, like sci-fi horror. Like you give me Pandorum or Event Horizon, that's right up my alley. I love that type of horror. And I know like Aliens and Predator is kind of considered horror. I don't. I consider those actions. But yeah, I've never been one for like just straight up slasher films. I know. Well, what is it? What's the one with Ghostface? It's on the tip of my tongue right now. The one, Scream. It's like I know everybody loves Scream. It's like I was bored with Scream. Like I wasn't that big of a fan with Scream, but I like, which of course you know I like Lovecraft. I love cosmic horror. I mean I don't know why you would think I like Lovecraft, but yeah yeah I there's specific horror that I'll watch. But yeah, so I can either paint on Jason today, I can paint on Little Al, or I can paint a fairy. Actually, more I think about it, I kind of just want to start painting on Jason, so I might do that here. Get some speed paints going. Get the old wet palette out. Which is really funny because I'm actually starting this. I'm a big nerd when it comes to painting, so I learn about new techniques and whatnot. And one of the biggest techniques and painters that I follow is a man named by Don Serratos. Absolutely love him. He is a watercolored he's a watercolor artist out of the Philippines that does minis. And he's a fantastic watercolor artist. One of my favorite things he does is he'll do dioramas, which I have such a nerd fixation for dioramas. And so he'll do dioramas and minis, and then he'll watercolor the background for it. He did this amazing one for Trench Crusade, which is kind of an obsession of mine right now. But so he like He painted the minis, did the diorama, and then did a watercolor splash background for it, which I wish I was a watercolor artist. It looks actually amazing. And what's really cute is his daughter has a VTube channel as well, where she does Gunpla, and she does Gunpla like dioramas. Yep, Pups is here. She's at home. She's a room away. She heard me talking about her probably, and she also came in here and stole some of my M&Ms. But yeah, Don Serrato's absolutely amazing artist. He is talking about sponge undercoating, which if you saw, I released a video on YouTube, little short showing how to use a dry brush palette, and I actually dry brushed this Jason Voorhees. Yes, M&M thief, very, very, very unforgivable. I actually dry brushed this Jason Voorhees model using a dry brush palette. Well, what he does is he does the exact same thing with the Zenithal style highlights, which does the contrast for the contrast paints, but he uses makeup sponges. So I actually went my 6'1" bearded man self went to a makeup shop and purchased makeup sponges, so I can actually start doing this technique myself and learn it myself. So, and yes, they're so cute and pink. So yeah, going and buying makeup material for painting, it was very interesting, and it's a nice style, and I really want to learn how to do it. So I'll probably be doing that on stream as well, which should be fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna play around with this. Oh my god, that's where I went. I went to Five Below. That's exactly where I went. That's where I bought that. Was at Five Below, because Pups is like, oh, let's go to Five Below, which I had never been into a Five Below before. And we walked in, I was like, okay, why does it have anime stuff? There's so much anime stuff in here for that just kind of freaked me out. Yeah, we're actually going there this weekend to get some supplies for something. Let me look up an art reference real quick. I think it was Jason 7 or Friday the 13th 7 is when he lost his mask. I just need to see a just need to see a art reference so I know what colors to start off with. Oh yeah, there's the picture right there. All right, so a bunch of browns. Gotcha. Just a bunch of browns. All right, so yeah, this will be fun. Let's get some contrast paints out here. I think I'm going to start off with his shirt with a dark green. That's an Aztec gold. That's not going to work. Gunner camo, algae green. Oh, that's too light. Where is the one I'm looking for? Actually, that's a green. You know what? Yeah, I want to do that. So the good thing with these highlights when you're using contrast paints is you want to work dark to light, because you're going to build contrast. Because what I'm doing is something called it's a new painting style that's very fun for new people. Oh, I can turn the music down. I thought it was going to be, the music had been too low lately, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I'm kind of adjusting the levels. Is that better? I've had people say it was too low in a couple of them, like they could barely hear it. I want you guys to hear me over the music, so. So, all right, cool. So, getting the vortex mixer out so I can save my wrist. There you go. So yeah, as I was saying, So when you're working with these contrast paints, which I'm absolutely in love with these Army Painter contrast paints. When you're working with these contrast paints, you want to work dark to light, because as you build your contrast, and so you do your darker color, which I'm doing something called sponge chop, or well, it's going to be sponge chop eventually, but it's called slap chop, which is a new painting style, and people's opinions on it differ. Some people think it's very lazy. I think it's incredibly fun, and especially it's very like new painter friendly, because it's using these contrast paints, and instead of having the experience of building up contrast, you learn how to do it underneath the paints, which is really neat. And it's a very fun way to do it, because once you get the priming and the contrast highlights done, which is basically what this is, you slap paint on it. And once you slap the paint on it, you can, depending upon how much contrast and detail you want, it's considered new. It's got a like a flashier name. A lot of people, it's basically, yeah, it's heavy dry brushing. The only difference is you do a black primer, and you can either do a gray dry brush over it, and you want to do the gray dry brush pretty much all over it, and then you do a light, like a very bright white over it, with just where the light would hit the model. And so you're building the contrast underneath the paint instead of going back and building layers of contrast over. It's very quick. It's good for building on painting armies really fast. It's actually really fun. Yeah. It's pretty much, it's a rename, but because of these contrast paints, and because back in the day people used to do it with inks, because that's what I did. I mean, that's the reason I have inks still, is because you could do it with inks before these contrast paints were really popular. So you can either do it like I did with dry brushing on this, or if you want to get fancy, you do it with an airbrush like I did on this. And you do like a zenithal. So like you prime it black, you come in at like 90 degrees with your gray, do gray all around. You come on top and you do just white from the very top. That way, it's the flow of light down. And then what the difference is once you do the zenithal with the airbrush, then you go over the entire model with a dry brushing of white. And you get this really cool effect, which I love the effect. I almost don't want to paint it because it looks so cool with the zenithal and the dry brushing on this model. It just makes it look really cool. So when you do the contrast paints, all that's just going to pop out. So yeah, it's an old technique with a new flashier name is all it is. Because these contrast paints allow for that to happen. So the only problem with the contrast, like I remember the first time I saw someone on stream using a vortex mixer, and I said, "Oh man, that's so bougie. I'm never gonna have one." It's like I'm never gonna have a vortex mixture at all. And as soon as I got these contrast paints, how much they've got to get mixed, I purchased a vortex mixer. I'm so happy, because you just, this is the greatest thing. It's just sitting here and letting it mix your paints. All right. So I know some people are very particular about, yeah, actually, let me clean this. I'm not going to put it on the wet palette today. I'm going to put my contrast paints on a dry palette because I don't want it too thinned out. But I know some of these are really dark, and I do want to hit them with a little bit of speed paint medium. I don't know why the balls keep getting stuck in this thing. All right, where's my mixer? Yeah, so when you're working with these contrast paints, you really want to work dark to light. So I'm going to work on his shirt, which, it's a workman's shirt, so it's going to be a dark color. And that's the good thing about these contrast paints is when you first start, you want to slap it on. One thing that Don Serratos was talking about in one of his um, videos that I've kind of taken to heart is when you're painting, it's like anything that has muscle memory. And so when you start, especially if you haven't like painted in days, months, or weeks, your muscles are going to have a moment where they're going to have to remember what you're doing. So you don't want to immediately, like right out the gate, start doing detail work. So he says he'll usually start working on like an old model, or he'll work on the bases first and work his way up. Hey Faye, how you doing? So I am kind of working on the shirt a little bit before I start moving any higher up, because that's something I started doing when I'm working on a new model. I usually, especially if I haven't painted all day, I will start working on the base first and then work my way up. That's the plan, is to try to get some of this gray horde done. It's my wall and my shelf and wall of shame. So especially with these contrast paints, you always, general rule is two thin coats, because that's what they always say. Two thin coats always. And that's what I'll do. And these contrast paints dry so freaking quickly, it's ridiculous. So it's easy to do. Yeah, I think on the Discord we were having a comparison of like piles of shame. I have a pile of shame. You saw it. I have a pile of shame as well. I do need to pay more often. My problem is I've been playing, and I'll fully admit it. I've been playing way too much Dune lately. Like, well, I should be painting, and I'm like, how did Dune get turned on? How am I playing Dune? It's like I was sitting here talking about painting, and now I'm playing Dune. All right, so while that shirt is drying, I kind of want to do like a very dirty wife beater. I don't know if Jason wore a wife beater underneath, but I kind of want to do like a really dirty wife beater for some reason. I will say this, and yes, it's calling out Maniacal Kitty a little bit. At least my wall of shame is put together. Hers is still in boxes. I don't want to use that. Do I have a lighter one? I think I have a lighter. Let's see. Ancient honey. That's the mummified grime. I think I had a. You know, there's this company I'm really starting to like. I really want a lot more of their paints. Someone sent me There we go, Bony Manor. Someone sent me some of their stuff. I'm gonna pull up one of their bottles. Here we go. You guys might be familiar with it. I'm really starting to like these signature series acrylic pros. The few times I've used it, I've really liked the paint. And one of the things I like the most about them is they're like, yeah, we don't name our paints fancy colors. It's going to be black, like warm black, light black. See, I want to order their white because I have this thing where I don't ever like white. I don't. It's every white I've like. I love Army Painter. Hashtag not sponsored. I love Army Painter, but their white is horrible, and I cannot stand their white. The only white that I really like and that's in my collection right now, the only white that I like, even Vallejo's, I've got Vallejo's like air white, and that's kind of my go-to right now, and I'm still not 100% happy with it. The only white that I have that I really like is actually I gotta pull it out. Yeah, here we go. Is actually an ink. This is an Amsterdam titanium white ink. This if I want it to be white and I want it to pop, I pull this out. And I hate working with inks. I cannot stand it. If I can find an acrylic that does as good as this ink, yeah, they are. They will pop. Like when I did the Nova, oh God, I hate that name. The Novalites, whatever. The Sisters kill team I had to paint when I first started streaming. I lined their cloaks in this because I wanted a white to pop on the red, and this was perfect. But yeah, the Army Painter white is horrible. It's not even good to dry brush with, and I just let mine get old, pretty much. See, I was wondering that. I need to order that. Inks are good, but they take forever to dry. Forever to dry. You have to kind of urge them along a little bit with you can definitely use a hair dryer. You have to use the little hair dryer urging to get it to dry a little bit. Freaking contrast paint's already drying. And what's the secret? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's okay. That's pretty neat. Um, that reminds me, I have a friend of mine I worked with when I worked for a car company back in the day, and he was a huge Magic player. And then I ended up leaving the car company, and he gave me a call like months later. He's like, "Hey, Al," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm living my dream," and I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "I bought a game shop." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He was so happy. He bought like part into a game shop, and it was a really nice game shop. I'd never been there before. I went when he told me, and it ended up becoming my favorite game shop. It was clean, it didn't stink, it was nicely organized, the people were really nice, everything like that. Well, of course, the pandemic hits. I didn't go there for a while, recently went back and I found out my friend sold his stake in it and then went and did another job. And I'm like, that's really sad. They said he got really disenfranchised with owning a game shop. I'm like, that's really sad. It was your hobby. You loved it. You had a dream of owning a shop and now you hate it. I cannot stand it. Was so sad. Let's see. Where's that? What did I do with that mummified grime? I just had it. There we go. Ooh, rough. Rough. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened. Fucking Vortex. Yes, the game shop smell is horrible. Like back when I when I used to work conventions, I used to hate going into the video game rooms. It smelled like ass, and then people started wearing Axe instead of showering because Axe got popular, and then it just smelled like ass and Axe, and so it's like, I'm sorry, you can't cover up the ass smell. It's you can just add to it, and a combination of ass and like body odor and Axe is not going to be good. Hmm. I don't know how I feel about that. I might start putting it on the back of the head to see how I feel. I feel like my camera's been moved. It'll be a good start for Flesh, I guess. This is that mummified grime, which that'll be good for Jason's like underskin, I think. The best game shop I've ever been in is in Minnesota, and it's known as one of the largest game stores in the US. It's called The Score. This game shop was absolutely amazing. I was visiting my best friend who moved to Minnesota, and it's right out of it's in Minneapolis, which is like the board game capital because it's so cold up there. Everybody plays board games. Fantasy Flight is headquarters up there. Asmodee, I think, is headquarters up there too. But like these board game shops are the board game companies are headquartered up there, and this shop is so big and so awesome. It was incredible. Who was it that I think it was Reina that was recently telling me there's a game shop simulator video game out there, and part of it is you've got to spray Febreze or Lysol on the customers that stink, and like it makes the customers that stink mad, but it makes the ones that don't stink happy. Okay, I kind of like this. I kind of like this mummified grime. It's really good on this Zenithal as it is thinned down because I hit it with some speed paint medium. I have a piece of art of Al spraying a Febreze bottle, and I kind of love it, and I use it every now and again. I will say this is a lot is well, okay, that's a bad sentence. It is very refreshing to be sitting here painting something that's not a fairy for once. I feel like I've been painting those fairies forever. Lux! Hey, Lux! Blasted fairies. Yeah, imagine. Like, I think Callie just noticed that the other day too, that she wasn't following me. um, I think Rourke, yeah, like when we are doing our peak stream, Rourke realized he wasn't, or Rock, he realized he wasn't following Sunny. It's funny, we talk to each other so much, and then we realize, oh crap, we're not following each other. Okay, this is dry and really, really cool. You know what? I would believe that, Faye, because I swear it unfollows people. Because I swear I've had people followed, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're not following this person anymore. I'm losing my mind. Where'd I put that? There's. But I'm very much an old man that I don't trust technology. Like I've still got the same phone I've had for a long time, and Pups is always like, we need to give you an upgrade. And I'm like, no, I don't want to upgrade. I don't want to learn a new phone. I don't. I'll die with this phone if I have to. But I know eventually I'm gonna have to. It's like I don't like upgrading technology. Wait, they have those retro Nokia's? No, they don't. Really? That would be kind of cool to have like one of the old ones. I want one of those like '80s style cell phones. I want to look like a guy that just came to the future. Like I want to walk around with one like as big as my freaking head. Like I could like I could club a mugger to death with it. You know what's funny is it's really sad that my first phone, which was like a Motorola Razor Flip, is it's in I think it's in the Smithsonian now. Like it's as one of the first like popular phones, I guess, or something like that. I know someone was telling me that. It's really good. And now, speaking of like sci-fi and Friday the 13th, I did see Jason in Space because someone's like, "Oh, you like sci-fi stuff?" It's like here they tried to get me into it. I laughed more than anything else. That was such a campy, funny movie. Like I won't go back and watch it again, but like I laughed so hard. I need good help. Fine. Okay, am I that weak that I can't tear a paper towel? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say that that was intentional. Yeah, I'm that much of a comedic genius that I intended that. Rest up, Lux. I know it's late for you. Hmm, let's see. Thank God I got a big ass bottle of this speed paint medium because I use it so much. I don't even know why I have my wet palette out. I'm not using it at all. I think the wet palette's out for moral support right now. set set the Lux time. That you know what, Callie, that is a struggle that's real because I have a painter friend of mine who I love to death. Waifu Max. She is adorable. She's incredibly sweet. I've never gotten to collab with her because she lives in Australia. Like, it's just always like she randomly shows up, and when she shows up, she's either it's late at night for me and she's at work. Hmm. I'm slowly getting to the mask because I'm really not sure how I want to what color I want to start off on the mask. What color are hockey masks? Is it they're white, right? It's just they're yellow in the movies because his hockey mask is old as shit. Okay, so they start off with white. All right, so I need to do like a dark yellow first, and then I can do like white highlights. Okay, I think I got that. I think I understand that. All right, where is? Okay, I had a dark leather. I know I had a dark. What do you want, cat? Why are you in my studio? Go bother your mom. 20-pound freaking Maine Coon. Here. All right, come here. Come here. They're all here to see you. Is that what it is? They're all here to see you. Come here. Oh. All right. Again, I'm going to put you under the camera. It's like, hi, this is Tater. What do you got on your face, buddy? Is that you just want everybody to say hi to you? Is that what it is? You just want everybody to say hi to you? Hmm? Is that you heard me in here talking? You're like, oh, they must be he must be talking to my fans. You know, he talking to my fans. Oh, or is it? Or is it mom's not paying attention to you and you want food? Is that what it is? You want food? Go bother her. Oh, oh, oh. You just ripped my headphone out of my ear. Well, hopefully whoever receives this Jason Voorhees does not mind. Yeah, he does. He thinks he's a prince. Walks around this house. He thinks he's a freaking prince. Oh, cat hair already in. Oh, I had it. There it is. Satchel Brown. That is only his ever second appearance on stream. Usually the door's shut. I was about to say, Callie, you're a rat. How do you feel about cats? Are you happy with them? Oh wow! Oh wow! That's the that vortex mixer really is messing with the camera. You're only rat shaped. There's a comic book series I turned pups on to. She absolutely loved called Mouse Guard. And like if you like Secret of Nim, you'd like Mouse Guard. I'm a big Mouse Guard fan. Satchel Brown. Oh yeah, that's a nice dark brown. I like that. To do the leather on the back of the head. These speed paints are so. Yep, you missed it. Tater made an appearance because you were ignoring him. Excuse me, allergies. Oh God, I wish trees would stop having sex in my yard. Oh, you're getting him out of the studio. You heard that meow. You finally paid attention to him. He can't bother me enough. Interstellar service provider. Is that the same one that does the internet for Sunny? Oh, I got an ad break in about 5 minutes. I'll probably get up and walk around and stretch my old man legs. It'll probably be about 3 minute long ad break, and then I'll be right back when the ad break's over, so you guys can get up and walk around too. as we I had someone ask me once, they're like, why do you paint on your thumb? And it's like, I'm not painting on my thumb. It's when I pick up paint and I have too much on the brush and I don't want to put it on the mini, I wipe the excess off on my thumb or my nail, and then I'll go paint. That way I don't have to glob it onto the mini itself. That mink? You painting a? I'm not. I'm painting a mink. I don't get what you're saying. What do you mean a mink? I'm not painting a little weasel. Many. I mean, but you at least get to see the aftermath. I mean, you can just walk up and pick it up whenever you want to. And you know, let's see. Let's show a little bit before I do the mask. You guys can see how it's turning out so far. And this is once the base colors are on, it'll get another layer of dry brush over it, and then I'll hit it with lighter contrast paints as you build up, and it'll build more and more contrast onto it. 2 more minutes till ad break. Now I've got to find a yellow. Oh wow, Raina's not in chat, and I'm painting with yellow. She always makes fun of me because I hate yellow so much. I don't see why that girl likes yellow. Yellow is one of the most annoying paints to paint with. I cannot. I usually airbrush it if I have to paint with yellow and orange. But since I'm using yellow as an undertone, I don't mind using it right now. If I can find, let's see, Zealot yellow maybe. What yellows do I have? Maggot skin. That's definitely going to get used. That's a light. Yeah, that's going to be lighter. I'm going to have to use that on the skin later. Okay, I had a shit ton of yellows. Now I can't find a single one. Someone's been in my drawers. You know, she's got more patience, I think, than I do when it comes to painting. Um, but yeah, I think she's got like so much more patience when it comes to painting yellows. Her oranges are amazing. I will say that. I don't know what Eldritch pack she made to get her oranges to look so good. It wasn't with me. But there's also there's also a technique and a tip they have online here recently where they're like, oh, if you're gonna paint a yellow, paint a pink underneath. They're like, if you paint a pink underneath, like if you're gonna do like a yellow arm pad for a Space Marine, you paint the Space Marine arm pad pink first, then you put a yellow over it. It's supposed to make the yellow go on in less coats and look a little bit more vibrant. I personally have not tried that yet. Is that really? That can't be the only. That is so dark. I don't want to use that for like an undercoat yellow. I just need something to look like aged plastic. Come on now. I need the look of like a Star Wars figure that has been sitting on a shelf since the 70s. That's the look I need, where the plastic has gone from white to like this dingy, ugly tooth yellow. Oh, ad break in 1 second. Bye. Okay. See you guys in a little bit. right, and we're back. See how quick that was? Had to get the ads out of the way. All right, so during the ad break, I got up and walked around, and I still did not find the yellow I was looking for. So we're going to improvise. So I'm going to commit a sin. I'm going to mix speed paints with regular paints, and add a little bit of. Where's that white? Actually, I think this heavy warm brown is going to help him. You got a clip for Arena. Ah! I spooged all over my fingers. Crap. Do not get on the mini. Do not get on the mini. I have creamy white everywhere. So professional. I know. This is like absolutely great. And this, my friends, is why I wear an apron. Pair of tweezers. Where's that trash can? Ugh. I gotta pull the lid out. Ugh, it's everywhere. Yeah, I fully expect that to be. God, I got cream everywhere. This is, oh, it's all in my fingernails. Oh, man. Um, yeah, hold on. 1 second. Gotta wash my hands. That was quick. I have a bandana. I keep a bandana in my studio for a reason. Ugh. Okay. That got everywhere. I knew when I opened it because I used the dark flesh tone from this set. I was like, oh yeah, it's got a little cap inside. I gotta take it off. Well, I just opened it and it exploded. It doesn't even match my pale Irish skin. Oh, and now you're not even gonna come out? Really? There you go. God, that's thick. You're gonna work. All right, so this yellow with a little bit of this warm cream and some speed paint should be a good base for this mask, I'm thinking. Yeah, there we go. That's the color I'm looking for. That I'm gonna need a little bit of. Truly professional here, I promise. I'm losing everything. My mind. Speed paint media. Yes, I know. I'm so dumb. So dumb. So I've been asked before, it's like, why don't you use just water for acrylic? Because acrylic is water based. You know, that would make sense. And it's okay. It's okay if you want to use water. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. You can use water if you want to. However, if you use water, I highly suggest you use distilled water because water straight from the tap will have impurities, even filtered, will have impurities, and that'll show up in your paint. It'll make your paint splotchy. Um, it won't dry the same. It could even leave like a sandy texture on your paints. But I use mediums because mediums are designed to thin some of these paints. Okay, that is going to be a really bright yellow, but it's going to get knocked down with contrast. Well, I'm going to, Callie, if you're really doing that, I'm going to suggest something. And Raina is not here to make fun of me. Get yourself one of these because this thing is always handy and I have it near me all the time. This is a color wheel and it shows you what colors contrast with the other. And it also helps you with mixing paint. There's a clip where Raina and I were like talking about the use of one of those, and I pulled it out. I might have, I probably should have thinned this down a little bit more, but it's okay. It'll be okay. Fuck it, we ball, right? Because I plan on going over this. She does. She's very good at it, but she's the type that she'll mix paints and then forget how she mixed them because she doesn't take notes. But Reina is an amazing painter, and I tell her that all the time. She is incredibly good. She's one of the better painters that I've met. But I tell everybody, it's like you want to paint. Everybody's got a place to start. You're not gonna get out the gate looking absolutely perfect, you know. So I tell everybody, I'm like, get out there and just paint. It's like dare to suck. Your first works are not gonna be as good as you want them to be, and that's completely fine. It's like that's the reason the motto of my channel is dare to suck. Because you just throw paint on a model and it's gonna look better every time you do it. See, I want to do Rourke's Gundam Challenge 2. I really do. And I can't find the freaking Gundam I want to do. Like, I found it on Amazon, which I really don't want to give Amazon money. But on top of that, it won't get here until like way late. I want to do the Zaku Police Gundam. It's already kind of rounded and it's got little jets on the back, but I like the style because my idea is I'm going completely campy with it since he's like, oh, it's a Gundam race series. I want to do a Gundam version of a NASCAR. So it's gonna have like logos and like advertisements all over it and everything like that. That's what I want to do. I think that would be funny as shit. Awesome. Yes, that'll be great. I was actually even thinking about making it like a beer company, like a modern day beer company's version of a Gundam, like Pabst Blue Ribbon Zaku. Okay, I'll show you. It's yeah, I'll send it to you. Because I even went to like my local shops and couldn't find it, and I was gonna settle and get one. I was like, no, if I'm gonna pay $30, I want it to be the one that I want. Okay, I'm painting yellow, Raina. Look, I'm painting yellow. Look. It's gonna get covered, but I hope you're having fun at work. Oh, I love this song. This is the 30th anniversary of Hellraiser with Ozzy singing with Lemmy. No, I wasn't complimenting her at all. Don't make me sound like don't make me sound like a care. I'm supposed to be a mean eldritch like being, remember? I'm a mean old man. I'm not soft and squishy. I gotta rest my finger on it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I gotta steady my hand. Here we go. What do you mean lunchtime? I have my lunch. M&Ms. It's got protein. It's got peanuts in them. That's lunch. So perfectly healthy lunch. Chocolate and peanuts. Yellow might have been a little brighter than I want it to be, but it's okay. It'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. It should be okay. Maybe. Oh, I do want an orange. I think this fire giant orange is gonna be good. I want an orange as the underlayer for the eyes. I think because every time I see like paintings of this bust, they give Jason like these really cloudy orange eyes that like that go from a dark orange, like a bright orange contrast, to like a pale, and I love it. So I think I'm gonna try to mimic that. Just want a hint of orange. That's a reddish orange. You know what? That'll work. That'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be okay. Oh yeah, that's creepy as shit already. All right, so let's see. What do I want to use for the teeth? Because I want the teeth to pop out too. I used the bony manor on the jaw. And I used the palette on that, so... Oh, Howling Sand. Howling Sand should be good. I'm using my dry palette more today than I have in a while. I don't even want to thin it. I just want to use it straight out of the bottle, which might be a mistake, but... I keep like getting self-conscious of whether I've got my mini in my camera shot or not, because I keep drifting off to the right. I've moved my camera so many times because I keep doing that. Like, because I'm at like an L-shaped desk, so I rest my arm here, and so I end up like drifting, like I'm pushing myself out of camera shot with the model. So we're coming to the part of slap chop that a lot of people are intimidated with. As the teeth, as soon as the teeth dry, I'll show you guys. So now, if you wanted to, especially if it was like a Warhammer mini, this right here would be tabletop ready. You got your contrast. You can look at your shirt because you put the contrast paints over the shirt. You got your highlights and your shadows already. Mask definitely needs some work, but we'll get to that. If you wanted to run with this, if this was a mini game doing slap chop, you could just go with this and be perfectly happy. It's already going to be better than some of the stuff that you see on the table. However, with slap chop, especially this double slap chop technique, you got to go a little higher up, and you got to give it a little bit more kick. And what you want to do is give it more contrast. And how you do that is, one, you whip out this handy dandy thing, which is called a wet palette or a dry palette, and I get to use a new tool in my arsenal that I made, which is a damping sponge. This is for when you're dry brushing. It's just a piece, which is really funny because these go for like $13, and Pups was like, "Hey, I've got this old lip balm cup, if you can get the balm out of it." And I was like, yes. And so I just ran like a heat gun over it and melted all the lip balm out of it and washed it and just shoved the sponge down in it. The object of this is that you want to give it a squirt of water, and you want to dampen the sponge just enough. Like you don't want it very damp, and you just want to you don't want it saturated. You want it enough, and you squeeze the excess water out of it. So you want it to where it's just damp enough, like you touch it, it feels damp. And what that does is while you're dry brushing, it reactivates your dry brush. So we want to dry brush with a white, and the only really good decent white I have is this, which is a Vallejo airbrush, which these are great. I love them. They come pre-thinned for airbrushes, so they come like pre-thinned, which you can usually use them on a wet palette straight from the bottle if you want to. So we're actually going to use the wet palette now. Yay! It's been out here this entire time and I haven't even used it. So you want to put it out like this. And let me get a dry brush. Do I want to use a big dry brush? No, I use my. And this is a dry brush from a dry brush set. Get making sure all the extra hairs are out of it, just in case. All right. because you don't want the hair coming off. And you just dab, dab here, and you're gonna do it on your skin a little bit until you get the effect you want. And the reason you use this is you don't want to use, like you see a lot of people will use a paper towel. Paper towel is going to suck way too much moisture out of your dry brush, and you're going to end up putting more gradient on your paint than you want to. So what I do is a dry brush palette, which is what this is. It's just a texturized piece of material. You can make it at home if you want to, and there's videos on how to make a dry brush palette at home. But you just run it over it until you get the desired effect you want. And it's like right now, it's a little too less. So I'm gonna do that. All right, and that's getting the effect I want right there. It's about like that. And here's the tricky part. This is the intimidating part. It's like this beautiful paint job I just did on this Jason Voorhees. We're gonna dry brush all over it. Yeah, we're gonna ruin it. So we're just gonna start dry brushing all over this beautiful paint job I just did. Yep. So with this, what we're doing is we're building layers of contrast and texture. And dry brush is already getting a little dry. So I'm going to take my damping sponge and just give it a tap. It's going to reactivate. It's going to reactivate the paint. Oh, it's a little too wet, which is fine. That's fine. You in with dry brushing, of course, you don't want your brush to be damp. You want it to be sort of dry. Get a little bit more dampness off of it. What's good about this technique is you can use different colors at this dry brushing stage. So like if you were doing an elf where you wanted like a lot of woodland colors or anything like that, um you can do like a green or brown because you just want to do a color that's going to pop underneath your next layer of contrast paints is what you're doing. And so once you do this, what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you're going to you're going to give this a little bit of time to dry, and you're going to go back over it with lighter contrast paints, like because I did a dark green, so I'm going to go do a lighter green, and it'll add more contrast to it. And you can honestly do this as many layers as you want. You can do slap chop over slap chop over slap chop if you want to add contrast. I usually just do two. So I'll like do this and go in, do another layer of contrast over this. And then once all that's dry, I will go in and do my highlights. as I clean my dry brush. All right, so we shouldn't need any more dry brushing. As I finish my energy drink. So you do want to give it enough time to dry. You don't want to rush the process in doing so, because when you go to do the contrast paints, you could reactivate it. That's something you don't want. You don't want to reactivate it. But I'm lucky and bad luck in the regards that sometimes it takes forever, or well, sorry, reverse that. It like stuff dries way too fast in my studio. I think I have a poltergeist. Sometimes I joke about that because stuff will dry on my wet palette, which is not supposed to happen. So I think, let's see, I'm here, sorry, I'm here fanning the paint. Let's see, mummified flesh, I used that. I used fire giant, I used that. I'm trying to put the paints in order so I know what I used, so I know what to do over it. All right, so I pulled that out. Where did I pull it? There it is, maggot skin. So with the flesh, I use mummified grime for his base coat. I'm going to do maggot skin over it, and you can see how this is going to be a brighter contrast. Gotta love those names. Maggot skin. Absolutely awesome. Now, when it comes to drying the paint, if you're not a patient person, that's fine too. You can use the hair dryer technique, which a lot of painters will have a hair dryer in their studio, and they'll give their paint like a little shot of the hair dryer to dry it quicker. I've got a heat gun, which I've made a mistake because heat guns get a lot hotter than a hair dryer. I've melted models by accident. But melted models just become terrain. Okay. I like that color, and I might need a little bit more. I like that color, but I don't know if that's going to be the finishing touches for the flesh or not. We'll see. I might do another layer over that. I do like where that's going, though. Okay. So with this maggot flesh, it's going to be a brighter green. Yeah. Yeah, this maggot flesh might need 2 coats. Probably, I'm thinking. Got a little shirt, but that's fine. But one good thing is I purposely plan to use brighter contrast on this stage because I do want to use some washes later, which I'm a big fan of washes. Talent in a bottle, as I call it. Oh, get out of there. A little too much. Don't pull. Don't pull. There you go. I hate it when it starts pulling in a crevice. This means I didn't get enough paint off on my hand. Okay. Mm. Trying not to rush doing that mask because I really, really don't like that. Um, see, that's a gray. Howling white. That's a gray. Those are really light grays. there's not a decent white contrast paint, which, makes a lot of sense because there shouldn't be. I don't think I'm going to use any pastels on Jason Voorhees because that just doesn't sound very dark. Although if Jason came walking up to me in pastel clothes with pastel skin, I think I'd be a little bit more afraid. That's a blue gray. Or a bright green. That's not going to work. Gold green. That might be good for the shirt. I don't know. Because I was thinking I wanted to do like a teal, like a dark teal over the shirt. Looking for an ivory. An ivory like white. Which I could have sworn I saw one in my collection. Ash and stone. Nope, that's too gray. Ivory white. Pastel salmon, maybe? Nope, that's pink. Periwinkle. The thing is, like, blinding white. You know what? Maybe blinding white? I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe thin down a lot. Maybe. It's like a dirty white, almost. I know Holy Light. This one. This one's going to be a lot darker than that one. Yeah. Don't want to use that one. Maybe a speed paint medium. Like, thin the shit out of it. Let's see, there's the yellow. Maybe it'll work. Don't know. Ah, acrylic doesn't taste like M&Ms. Callie, if you don't know, one of my bad habits is I lick brushes because I have the habit of when a blood brush is clean, you put it on your tongue and you like swirl it to get the tip back. Yes. So yeah, this is going to be the raffle giveaway. Yeah, so I lick the brush to get the tip back when I'm going to dip it in the paint, and sometimes I do it too quickly because it's out of habit, and I'll lick paint. Yeah, it's a very very bad habit of mine, and it's yeah, it's a lot of mini painters have that habit, and it's bad. I've made friends like that because because we lick brushes. Okay, this is a lot better. It's gonna be. So it's gonna be a dark gray with a hint of the yellow underneath. Might have to do another layer of white over it, which will be completely fine because I like where this is going. So basically, what it was is that once I got to 100 followers, I was going to start painting it. So anyone, so the first 100 followers and anyone who joins between now and the time I finish it, I'm going to enter all of their names into a raffle, and then I'm going to draw a name, and then I will contact that person on Twitch and see if they will give me a safe address that they would not mind me mailing something to, and I will mail this out to them. And I'll give I'll give them a couple of days of like I don't hear back from them. Like after a week, I'll draw another name. But that's pretty much how it's going to work. So if you are following me right now, you will be entered into the raffle. But I want to do more stuff like that down the road, especially once Board Game Boss starts printing off the little owls. Because I want to paint little owls on stream, like a bunch of them, and then start giving them away to people in raffles. Okay, that's the mask is finally starting to look like what I want it to look like. Okay, so a thin down light gray over the yellow is kind of getting the effect I want. Because I'll be honest, when I started doing that yellow and it had that splotchiness, oh god, it started worrying me. It started worrying me so bad. This is smoothing out. This is looking like I want it to. Sort of. It's gonna take a little bit more care and a little bit more love, but it'll get where I want. I'm kind of basically glazing right now, which is another technique. Kind of a cheap glaze. So I'm just kind of glazing the gray over the yellow and some. Like you want to leave the yellow around the holes. Show a little aged look and bring into the broader areas. I want to start having it fade into the gray. I'll be honest, when it comes to painting this bust, I was really worried about the mask because it's Jason Voorhees. Iconic figure. If you don't do the mask correctly, it can ruin the entire mini. All right, so that's getting kind of there, kind of where I want to go. As my poor thumb looks like the palette for this entire thing. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Oh, do I need to reactivate you a little bit? Maybe. Nah, you're good. Now, I'm doing all of this because that's a good thing. I haven't gotten to the detail stage. So I'm doing all of this with what is this? A number 7? Yeah, a number 7 brush. Which honestly that's my workhorse, my go-to brush for like mixing paints and whatnot. When I go to detail work, I'll go to a smaller brush. Let's see, what do I used Satchel Brown. I need to that one. I want to do a lighter brown. I know I have a lighter brown somewhere. Desolate brown. You know what? Brownish decay. That might be too green. Hardened leather. That might be good. That does look like it. Yeah, that's lighter. So yeah, you want to when you're using these contrast paints, you want to go dark to light. So I used like when I do the leather, I used a dark brown underneath. Oh, we have another ad break in about 5 minutes. So I used a dark brown for the leather, and the dry brush white over that. And so I'm going to use a lighter brown. So what it's going to do is it's going to leave those recesses like a darker brown because the dry brush is going to be over it. And then the dry brushing is going to make this lighter brown kind of pop a little bit more. So there we go. Do I want to use that straight out of the... Yeah, I'll use it straight out of the thing. Okay. Normally, you want to sometimes use like airbrush or speed paint mediums. And I normally do, but sometimes you just want to use it straight out of the bottle, which is what I'm doing right now. The fun part is once I get all these colors on here, I get to start playing with washes because washes are going to age and deteriorate the model and make the model look worn and dirty. Washes are kind of my jam. I do enjoy washes. You can do some really fun stuff with them. Thank you. Yeah, I just did the second layer of slap chop over it. It's really starting to come along. I'm still not happy with it, but I think once I get some dark brown washes on them, it's really like I really want to hit the skin with a green wash that'll really pop out the different layers, kind of merge them together. And of course, I still haven't done my absolute favorite thing when it comes to models, my zen moment, and that is black lining. That's something I absolutely love to do. It's so nice. I love black lining a model. Minis, models, everything. You just kind of zone out and do it, and it can really make a difference on how a mini or a model looks. Ad break in a minute, guys. I'll be getting up and walking around. I'll be gone for about 3 minutes. And then you can see how that drive, you really see it in the leather here. You see how the recesses are really dark with the dark brown, and then you hit it with the dry brushing of the white, and then now the lighter brown really pops out. It looks like cracked. And what's really going to make it great is that we're still not done. So when I get to the highlighting stage, I'm going to go in and highlight it with even lighter, like highlight the edges, highlight it with even lighter brown, and it's really going to bring a 3D element to this mask. All right, so we are in an ad break. Sorry, guys. back again. As I'm going to start painting on this jawline with some of this pallid bone. My question is, those horror movie fans out there, in respects, is Jason a zombie or a ghoul? So I think he's more of a ghoul because he doesn't really eat. I mean, he never eats his victims, of course. Or he's like a revenant, like an angry spirit. A little bit. Where did I put that? That's the mummified grime. Just had it. Where'd it go? I lose so many paints. There it is. Maggot skin. Boop, boop, boop. Oh my god. The zealot orange. How does the zealot orange? Oh wow. Ups just bought me a huge ass thing of iced tea. Sometimes this vortex mixer just doesn't want to work. Alright, let's see. Nah, that's zealot orange, zealot yellow. That's more of a Orange to me. Not even orange, just yellow. Jesus. Wow. Look at that. That really makes those eyes pop. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to use forest. I think that's too. There's a green I think I want to use. Camo cloak. No, no, I've got one. Sand golem. Pulling stuff out as I'm doing it. Let's see. Camo cloak. That's it. There we go. I've seen camo cloak used on some stuff, and I really like how it looks. So I know we were talking about Five Below, but one of the things I want to pick up, and I think I'm going to try to pick up this weekend when I go, is Faye was telling me about. I believe it was Faye that instead of I'm having an issue trying to find a good dry palette that I like because I bought one off Amazon. I thought I was gonna like it, and I don't because it's hard as hell to get clean. But they suggested those little textile like popping toys for kids made of silicone and using that as a palette. I love that idea because that would be so easy to clean. The silicone, the palette, it shouldn't stick to the paint. The paint shouldn't stick to it too hard. And I love that idea, and I think I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to get some of those. Like I want to get smaller ones because I like this size for a contrast palette. And I kind of want to thin it more. Yeah. Where did I put you? There you go. And as much as I like this, these little compartments, man, I need more of them and I need them smaller. So, yeah, yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, that's gonna look good on the shirt. Okay, so, oh, yeah, that's really gonna hurt. I don't know why this green looks so, even drying on my thumb. Look at that. That looks so good over gray. I'm actually excited about this. I have not painted a bust forever. This makes me want to get out my Lovecraft and my Cthulhu busts, which those will not be giveaways. See, I'm actually really torn with those because I've thought about them for years. I've had them for years. They're done by Blackheart as well. I think they're out of printing, but I have a Cthulhu one and a Lovecraft one. They're almost like bookends. They're this small. But the reason I'm torn is I want to paint them, but now hear me out. I can either paint them like this, like true to life, working on flesh tones and whatnot, make it realistic, looking Cthulhu bust, realistic Lovecraft bust. However, I had the idea of making them and painting them to look like marble statues, as if they're carved marble statues of Lovecraft and Cthulhu, which would be really fun to do the marble stippling, do the marble shading, maybe do like that Japanese art style where the cracks are filled with gold. So like do it to where the statues cracks are filled with like a gold paint. That's why I haven't painted them yet. I haven't decided. Like either I want to make them look like a statue or I want them to look realistic. Thank you for the alert, Callie. Mm-hmm. Got the pallet bone, which I used on his shirt already. Sand golem. You know what? Ooh, man. Man, that might be good. You know what? No, 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 no. I want to do howling sand. Oh crap! I messed up. I didn't mess up too bad. I just forgot to paint the skin that's inside his shirt. There it is. Easy fix. Easy fix. All right, I need. Where's that pallet bone? Bony matter first. Because it's going to make it look like his rib is showing. There we go. That's more like. Vigorous shaking. Oh, God. I will tell you this. Okay. I completely understand that fear. But you got to think about it this way. If you do minis and you're happy with how you can make minis work, you have a lot more space to do details with a bust. No, not really. You have more. Okay, when you're doing a mini and you screw up, there's only there's finite area to work with. When you kind of make a mess up on a bust, you have so much more area to work with. You have more area to do blending. You have more area to just work on stuff. So, I mean, they're two different art styles, but doing bust work, doing mini work. But you get, I think busts can be. I mean, it's whatever detail you put into it. But I think busts can be a little bit more forgiving compared to a mini. Let that dry. I think that's going to need another layer. Metallic sand kind of went on splotchier than I intended, so Might, yeah, I think I'm going to speed paint it. Speed paint medium. Smooth it out a little bit. See, that's how I felt, and a buddy of mine is trying to force busts on me. Like when he sent me a care package here recently with some really cool, like I'm not gonna lie, like really cool busts. And let's see if I can find one that I was talking about. Yep, there it is. Like he sent me this one, and I'm just, how can I not put this one together? This one is so cool. But like, yeah, this he sent me this one, and he's like, maybe this will get you to do more busts. So not only that, it has like the coolest little stand, but it's a wizard, female wizard, and she is summoning a little dragon out of magic. And I'm just like, this is, yeah, it doesn't it. He sent me this, and he's like, maybe this will get you to do more busts, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun to paint. Yeah, this is done by a company called, let's see, Frozen Ninja 3D. Frozen Ninja 3D.com is the name of the company that does it. And I haven't even went to their webpage yet. I'm sure they have other awesome stuff, but yeah, it's like I'm gonna definitely try to do more busts. Like he sent me this one as well. This is a bust. It's more of a sci-fi one. It comes with stickers. Um, but yeah, this is a sci-fi resin bust as well. That's because I love doing resin kits. Like I got a shit ton of anime resin kits. But yeah, this is a very sci-fi esque anime style bust character to do. Like a lot of pieces, but which yeah, this one will be very fun to do as well. I think. Yeah, the I got a big ass care package from Adepticon this year because I didn't go. And like all my friends are like, here, since you're doing a painting stream now, we're gonna send you all this crap. And so I got a huge ass care package just filled with like to add to my gray horde. But they also sent me this. This was the mini from Adepticon this year. It's a little cheese hatted gremlin type character. So that's actually really cute. He's only about that big, but that's really cute as well. That's going to be really fun to paint. They see, I want to do one too, but man, they are so spendy, so freaking expensive. I mean, I say that, and I've spent some money on some like anime resin kits back in the day. Open. This gets rid of the splotchiness of the shirt, but that's fine because a t-shirt can be splotchy, especially an old ass wife beater, such like the. Yeah, I've got so many models, and it's like people keep buying me models, and like, hey, do this, and I keep getting commissions. They're like, hey, do this for me, and I'm like, oh man, I'm never gonna be able to paint like stuff I want to do. Well, I want to paint, period. So I can't say that because like I just love painting. It's like right now I'm having a blast painting Jason. So ooh, figure out where to go from here. The Howling Sand, almost the Howling Sand is the color I want for the final color of the mask. If I had something a little bit lighter than that Howling Sand. Let's see, what do I have? Uh, Desolate Brown. I think the Howling Sand, I really don't want to add any more white to it. That's what I should have used the mask, is that play. But maybe. Maybe. Now that I sit here and think about it, maybe. Maybe that'll work. See, yeah, I got to the point I was just buying games because of the minis. Like, there's this one game I really love called Super Dungeon Explorer, and I bought that strictly for the minis because the minis are so cute. They're little chibi anime characters, and they're fantasy anime characters. And so, like, I have one that is a cleric, but she's a centaur and she's praying, casting a spell. It's like the cutest freaking thing. And I bought so many of these minis for that game, just for that game alone. Yeah, here, let me show you one. Let me show you. I love these. Like, I've got so many of them. And I have them right here next to me because they stare at me. That's that one. Here we go. So here it is. So this is, and they have cards because the way the game works is they're unique characters, and you're running through a dungeon. The dungeon, of course, is the board, and the dungeon has little cute like SD chibi monsters as well. Like the kobolds in this game are ridiculously cute. So every character gets a card, which you can see the cute little centaur girl right there on the card. But her model is this cute, adorable little centaur cleric who's in a kneeling position. And she's got her eyes closed and she's praying. Yeah, isn't it great? Like that's what made me fall in love with this game is all of the minis are this cute. Are ridiculously cute. Yeah, but it's called Super Dungeon is the name of the game. It's done by Soda Pop Miniatures. They have a futuristic version of it, um, which is really fun. But in sometimes the futuristic characters can be used as a fantasy in the fantasy game version as well. Because the last one I bought was they do comedy characters, like knockoff parody characters as well. And one of the last ones I bought was this one. And it's the Mandalorian and Grogu, both of them together. And so it's like a little SD version of like the Mandalorian and Grogu's a little wizard with a wizard hat and a wand. But yeah, those that's bunch of games that I wanna try to. I got so many minis I want to paint for. Yeah, yeah. The minis on those are so cute because the reason I bought them is I'm like, oh well, these can double up and be used as really cute D&D minis. Was what I convinced myself. Tiny epic dungeons. That's awesome. I think that was one I wanted to get into. I know I've been slowly painting my zombie side Black Plague over the years. Why are you breaking on me? Why is the paint breaking on me? Why are you doing that? Alright, time to switch to a smaller brush. Finally. As I want to mess with these eyes just a little bit before I call it on stream. Wrong brush. Yeah, you'll work. Wrong. Did I not clean you last time? Yeah, you're not gonna work. I might have to whip out the. Yeah, you'll work. I'll have to whip. Oh, yep. Before I mess up, here we go. I have to get out my new glasses because I'm an old man now. My cheaters that clip onto my glasses. All right, so we're coming down to final time as I unhook my glasses. Where did I put the? Oh, there it is. All right, so this will probably unless a surprise collab comes up this weekend, which I doubt. This will probably be my last stream for the week. So I'm about to raid out. Like I said, normally I paint on Friday nights. I am currently got some plans tonight. Looking forward to. Hold on. I will get you guys a good view of what we did so far today. As I close the wet palette and move some paints. Yeah, you can tell we did a little bit of work. Thumb and paints and palettes a little full. Okay, so still need some work down the road, but this is what we got so far. A little bit work with the washes coming up. Thank you very much. I might try to do these more often. Usually during the day I don't have much to do. Yep. So I'm still got some more work I want to do on the mask. Definitely want to bring the eyes a little bit together, but we got a good starting base here. So once we get some washes on the skin, I think the skin will be okay. No pun intended. Pun works. But I'm happy with what I got so far. I'm going to have pictures up on social media. Pictures will do it more justice than a camera does, of course. There we go. Back in the old office as I fix my mic. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find somebody real quick to raid out to. I got 2 targets in mind. Let's see. Ooh, Heidi's on. Oh, now I got 3 targets in mind. Heidi's on, Red Coat, Panda's on, Lux is on. You know what? In a situation like this, I might roll off with a die. Let's see. Bringing up my stream. Okay, stream summary. Stream manager. Let's see. Rate channel. All right, so I got a 6-sided die here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll, and on a 1 to 2, we're going to raid Red Coat Panda. On a 3 to 4, we're going to raid Heidi. On a 5 and 6, we're going to raid Lux. And here we go, rolling a die. That's a 2. We're raiding Panda. All right, thank you guys so much for spending the day with me, or the morning. I'll try to do more of these daytime streams. Maybe we'll see what's going on. Seem to be pretty pops. So I will catch you guys later. And let's see, where is my ending? New stream. There we go. Thank you guys. Love you, Yumis.